James, I have literally figured it out, okay?
What are you doing in my house?
I was up all night actually understanding the different badges of the performance cars across the entire world so I could cut through the marketing crap so we can do this review properly. Now, Germany, as we know, AMG, M, RS, those are the full-on performance versions of the cars, but obviously underneath that you have M Sport, well, AMG means anything these days, and S Line, that's only aesthetic, and S is actually kind of the same as M Sport and, well, AMG. Now, it gets confusing when you go down to America because there's an RS here and there's an RS here. This RS is just an aesthetic package. It has nothing to do with Germany at all because America, when you get the full-on version, you get the ZL1, SS, Z06, obviously Germans don't use SS. Now, Korea. We have to understand this so we can maintain complete objectivity in this review. Now, GT line and N line, GT being from Kia, N line being from Hyundai. These two are not the same, okay? N line is actually a performance upgrade while the GT line is just aesthetic. Now we've got the GT and the N over here. Now if you're talking about the Stinger, GT is the same as N because it's the ultimate performance version of the Stinger. And the N is actually the ultimate performance version of the Hyundai. But the thing is that these two are actually the same when it comes to the K5 and the Sonata, okay? So what we're doing today is the K5 GT, which is the equivalent of the Sonata N line. Hacked it.
Yeah. Please put some trousers on.
You're watching Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James.
And this is the Kia K5 GT.
GT. Which, as Thomas so lovingly explained earlier, means it actually has some performance chops. While not quite the performance machine that is the Stinger GT, and we'll talk about that in a second, the K5 GT costs less. This fully spec'd one, graciously loaned to us by the fine people at Lockwood Kia, will run you just under $40,000 Canadian.
That's not massively expensive, but it's not cheap either, and it's not without competition. So how good is the K5 GT actually?
If you're new to Throttle House, we do car reviews, track tests, and quite a lot of messing around. So subscribe and hit the bell.
Alright, how does the K5 GT drive? 2.5 litre turbo, 4 cylinders, 290 horsepower, and 311 pound-feet of torque. 5.7 seconds to 60 miles an hour is not slow. This thing is quick. In sport mode, it pipes in a lot of sound. I think it's a bit overkill, to be honest. And those numbers might sound familiar to you, and they should, because it's the same engine in the Sonata N line, which we showed on the quarter mile can actually, from a roll, defeat the legendary Honda Accord, which is no small feat. So you can imagine that this, which is pretty much the same car as the Sonata N line, could also take on an Accord, which is a big thing. And it would do so from a dig if it could put down the power. But it just can't. All that torque going to the front wheels, this and the Sonata N line cannot put the power down. Doesn't really help that we're on the summer Pirelli P0s in -10, but we've driven the Sonata N line on winters and it's the same thing. So as long as you don't slam your foot down at every green light, you can still get a lot out of this car. And right now, the best answer it has is Sport Plus mode. And the 8-speed DCT. a wet 8-speed double clutch transmission. And you might already know that because Hyundai and Kia have plastered it everywhere. In fact, in the tech specs, they call it a wet friction twin, which admittedly sounds dirty. It's not. It's there so that it can handle heavier loads. It's oiled up so that it can last longer through the slippage. Come on, James, you dirty bastard. It's to handle all the extra torque and stop it overheating.
The thing is, a wet DCT is not a new thing for Kia and Hyundai. In fact, it's pretty common in performance cars. The DSG, Volkswagen, PDK, the Bugatti Veyron has a wet DCT. It's very cool because it's a very sports car thing for a Kia to have that. However, Kia and Hyundai is putting it in everything these days, including the Santa Fe. But I have to agree with James. It adds a really fun, sporty flair to this car. But how's the rest of the car drive? You can't get the GT K5 in all-wheel drive, which might be a mistake. So you'd think that what they do is they would get the most out of a front-wheel drive platform by putting a limited slip diff in the front. But they didn't. This is an open differential. Causes torque steer, means you can't get the power down. It ruins the on-throttle experience of this car. It's a crime that they didn't put a diff in the front of this car because outside of that, it's fantastic. The steering, for example, in Sport Plus mode, it weights up perfectly pushing into a corner, and it tells me when I'm spinning a wheel and understeering. But it's incredibly precise. I can point it exactly where I want it. The thing is you have to finesse the car through the corner. And I find that when you do that, you can kind of just keep it neutral through the corner. It doesn't really understeer if you drive it correctly. The whole car is tuned to be sporty, like the suspension, which it's not adjustable. And obviously in any mode then, it's kind of choppy. In the city, it's bang, 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 bang. But out here, it feels really good. It makes the car feel really stiff. The sway bars are thick. It definitely prioritizes a sporty experience. That makes sense, because if you didn't want that, you wouldn't get the GT. This is a sportier feeling car than the Accord Sport, but it doesn't ride nearly as nicely. But the rest of the car isn't crazy sporty, and it's loaded with tech. It's got really good lane assist. It's got a rather intrusive lane departure warning, which I've turned off. Got a heated windscreen. You don't see those very often. And it's got the looks to match. I see you've also opted for the jacket.
Yes, Canada's beating me down now.
It's just a bit,
I can't
too chilly today.
It's too chilly. Minus 10 right now?
Yeah.
It's cold. What do you think of the Sonata N-Line?
Oh yeah, it is. 100%. Yeah. Although it is a reskinned Sonata N-Line, and therefore I like it better.
Good. It looks good. It looks really good.
This is a fantastic looking car. From the front, anyway, I have to say that. I got words about the back. But this is the tiger face, is what they call it.
The tiger face?
The tiger face. And, you know, I think the coolest angle is right here, exactly from the side. You see that? You see the way the headlight? Oh, and just like these little things that are kind of like...
It looks like it could be like a release poster for a Lion King movie.
What?
Like
from
the background.
From the side?
Behind the mountain, like...
Yeah.
But this has a more aggressive face, because this is the GT.
Yes.
So the GT line gets this front as well.
Right.
Because it's cheating, it's the aesthetic trim.
Right.
But the GT actually gets the performance stuff. So it gets these 19-inch wheels, which come on these Pirelli P0 summer tires.
Yeah, that way I noticed.
On this summer's day.
I noticed, yeah.
And the bigger brakes.
Yep.
And then stuff at the back as well, which we'll get to in a second. But
I want to say, so there's a hierarchy of these cars, these front-wheel drive sedans, mid-size, affordable. In terms of looks, I'm sure it's a weird it's a category. In terms of looks, this is, I think, at the top.
For looks?
Absolutely, yes.
Well, what have you got? You've got the Accord,
the
Camry,
yes,
the Sonata,
Is Mazda 6?
The Mazda 6?
Is
Yeah,
really
that's
good
a good looking car.
Yes, it is.
It's prettier. This is more aggressive.
This is still better looking than the Mazda 6. It's a little more playful in its styling, I
Oh,
think.
and there's the Maxima. This silver line
Yes.
looks like the Maxima, but otherwise it's kind of got an Audi look.
Speaking of Audi, you don't say. Let's take a look at the rear, because they blatantly copied the A7 or whatever, RS5.
The A7, yeah.
It's
No,
the
this is the A7.
whatever it
light.
is. This is
Yeah.
the Audi tail light now.
And it's a very good looking light.
It is, but it's an Audi tail light. Actually, to be fair,
Right.
I don't know who did it first. I'll be honest. I just realized this in this exact moment.
No, the A7
I
was first.
Are you sure?
Yeah. This
Well,
is a brand new car.
Kia, I'm sorry if you came up with this idea first, but as far as I know,
That's a proper Canadian sorry there.
That's what that was.
I'm
I
sorry.
am sorry. All right, I like the rear diffuser. That's really good. And I like the two tailpipes, which are
They're real.
science.
They're real.
Science. Are you sure?
Yeah, only the
100% real.
only the GT gets that. So the only real way, apart from wheels and tires, which I imagine a lot of owners will start switching up,
Yeah.
to tell that this is a GT,
Yeah.
is the quad exhaust, or the dual mufflers. As
There's
they
a
call it.
decently thick sway bar back there too. I like that.
And this is a strong name. Kia K5 GT.
Yeah, the KS.
If they
Looks like
bring
an
out
S.
another one, this one, I would keep the name. I just call it Junior, like you guys in North America do.
Junior.
It's a strong enough name.
Junior, like Henry Jones.
Would you
Jr.
rather tell people you
What's-
have a Sonata N-Line or the K5 GT?
That's a way cooler
Sounds
name.
like you got a sporty dog.
Can we do the interior now,
Yeah.
please? Okay. I like these. I just noticed that. You see
The
that?
extra grip?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if your door's way open and you
Yeah.
can't reach the normal handle, you get that.
It is good.
It's a clever piece of design.
Should it be in piano black?
No,
Probably
no.
not, because it's
It's like-
it's a touch point.
Just like this, this isn't that much piano black.
It's enough. It's
Okay.
enough that it looks dusty.
Can we talk about
We
the
can talk
shifter?
about whatever you want.
That's not what I say. It's not a boot. We don't say a boot. We say about with an out at the end.
That still
no one
sounds,
gets the
that
Canadian.
still sounds like a boot.
No, a boot is a boot. About is about.
I'm hearing the same thing. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah. Anyway, this is an abomination.
It's quite an industrial shifter.
Industrial. You know what?
Apparently it's supposed to be similar to a cockpit in a plane.
No, you know, it looks like something off of a Toyota from 2001.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's just not good. It
well,
really
car
isn't.
manufacturers love that. Like, this is from a fighter jet. This is
Ooh, yeah.
this is
exactly.
from a passenger. You know. Yeah, it's not great.
Okay, so
You almost find yourself longing for the button one in
no,
the
I don't.
Sonata.
No, I draw the line at the buttons.
What would you take, this or the buttons?
I would take this over buttons, for sure.
Okay.
I would deal with that. I do like that you can slam it into drive and you can slam it over into manual
There
mode.
is some slamming.
There's some
going on.
slamming going
Yeah.
on. Okay, the rest of the interior, quite good.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
I would classify it as modern economy.
Modern economy.
Yeah.
Wow.
This looks
yeah.
like a Jetta, right? We've got this one
a
screen
little bit.
facing the driver more so, and then we've got a digital dash. I think the US don't have a digital dash yet.
Oh, interesting.
Next year for you guys.
Okay, it is a very nice digital dash.
It is nice, yeah.
Yeah, I think 0 complaints about that digital dash. It's fantastic. It really elevated these cars.
The Sonata has a fun one. The Sonata is the one with the blasts of all the different.
Yeah, it's got some animations and stuff, but this is a nice infotainment as well. I like this. I like
Very
this kind of
smooth.
purple text that's fun. And it has the sounds of nature, which they're putting
Don't
in
care about
every
those.
single car now.
The Sound of Nature is, if I even share a car with you, the Sound of Nature is just you burping. So music's better than that.
That's accurate.
It has CarPlay.
It does have
and,
CarPlay.
and Android Auto, and it works perfectly well.
Okay, this is a really nice steering wheel. And I don't
It
like
says GT.
I don't like saying this, but I don't have a problem with the brand Kia,
Yeah.
but the logo just isn't doing it for me. I think
No.
they've redesigned it, haven't they? I think they're in the process of.
Well, the people, there's a Stinger logo that the Stinger
Yes,
gets
yes.
in Korea or something that looks a bit more fun.
So, actually, the one I'm talking about is an aftermarket thing that people are doing, which Kia aren't massively fond of, apparently.
But I do like the steering wheel. It's a fantastic shape. It's a fantastic size. The paddles are really nice.
these
The
seats
leather
are
is
really
good.
comfy.
The seats are comfortable.
It's funny, you'd think this would be more. This is more sporting feeling than the Sonata. The Sonata had more of a luxury vibe, more of a.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, I don't really have any issues with the interior of this car, other than, as you say, the piano.
The back seats are comfortable.
There's room.
There's
They're
plenty
heated.
of headroom.
Yep.
Yeah, we've got this awesome
Huge sunroof thing.
sunroof.
That's actually pretty quick, you know. In terms of sunroof speeds,
Yes.
like put it. Yeah, that's actually a good speed.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it the Escalade that we were in?
Plenty of the last few cars we've been in, you could poach an egg while the sunroof
closes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, I mean, if you look for it, some of the stuff is cheap.
Ooh, I've got one. Seating position is too high.
It's very high. That's the lowest.
This is the lowest, and I am.
You're like an inch and a half away.
That's not like if you're 6'2" or 6'3".
How tall's your brother?
He's 6'7".
He's 6'7".
He's the sound guy standing outside right now, and he can't really sit.
He can't
in
fit
here.
in this car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an important thing to note. It has to be said. Sound system, Bose. It's not
It's
bad,
good.
right?
No highs, no lows. It's Bose.
Must be Bose.
We know you audiophiles.
Yeah,
we know what
right.
you
We
say.
know
It's
what you're
all
gonna
mids. It's pretty good though. It's fun.
I've run out of things to talk about. I think this is a nice interior.
Wireless charging.
Yeah, we do that.
Plenty of storage space. I'm very
room's
comfortable
good.
in here.
You know what it doesn't have, this is an automatic win for me, is it doesn't have a little like blade digging into my thigh like the Accord does. I actually have a ton of knee room.
It's got
here.
nice aluminium pedals.
What was that word you said?
Aluminium.
You didn't even use your own version of it correctly.
Aluminium. I found it halfway. We've got a head-up display.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I think it's pretty maxed out for,
It is,
for whatever
yes.
it is, 39 Canadian.
Yeah, I think they've nailed the interior. They did a really good job. Should we do a conclusion? Because I have an important thing to bring up.
Okay.
And that thing is Kia's very own Stinger. If semi-affordable performance is your focus, the K5 GT cannot match the Stinger's athleticism or balance. A 3.3-liter Stinger GT is only $5,000 away from this K5 as spec'd, and it can be had with all-wheel drive, which might go some way to explaining why the K5 GT is front-wheel drive only. Perhaps it would push it too close.
That said, the current gen Stinger's interior is a little behind the K5 now, and perhaps the appeal of filling up with regular fuel or having rear seat room, a digital gauge cluster, and a more exciting, wet, double clutch transmission rank high on your priority list, in which case the K5 GT still has its place. Thanks for watching.